My name is Kimberly Chia and I have the Property Lim brothers.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hello,
Hi,
Kimberly.
Melvin.
Hello.
Hi, Adrian. And also, we have BR Law Firm lawyer, Kenneth Singh.
Hi.
Yay! Okay, so now every time when I'm scrolling my phone, right, and then I'm looking at Instagram, or I'm looking at Facebook, right, there's one ad that will always pop up. Apart from the Property Lim brothers videos, okay, there were so many new launches in Singapore. So many Every week I see like okay, maybe every week is a bit 夸张, but every time I always see like, oh, there's a new condo, there's a new EC, there's a new something, you know? Like, why should I buy a new launch actually?
Yeah, I think based on statistics for the past like 10 years, almost every month, every quarter, close to about 40 to 50% of the transactions for
Okay.
private residential, they belong to the new launch category.
Yes.
So I think that just goes to show how Singaporeans really love new things, really love new properties. Yeah, and I think new launch properties caters to home buyers that wants like a more hassle-free process because like the moment you collect your keys, you know that it's a brand new product.
Yeah.
Nobody lived in it before, and then you have a 12 months defect warranty period, and anything can go back to the developer for the next 12 months. So I think there's also this component whereby you don't really have to renovate a lot.
Yeah,
you
correct.
come pre-built with full-on kitchen. The only thing you need to throw in is basically your lightings, your curtains, and you're good to go.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know a lot of people who buy new launches, right? They are first-time owners. But what if I own like a few properties already, and then I still want to buy another new launch? Is that possible as well?
Yes, that's possible. So under IRA's guideline, if you own one property or multiple properties, if you buy a new launch, you'll be taxed with the additional buyer stamp duties.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll be, let's say it's a Singaporean, you have second property will be taxed on 12% and third property will be 15%.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so like what Candice has shared in the first episode, some couples would probably consider to decouple first or they would consider to sell first.
Okay, to
before
escape the extra percentage.
Yes,
lah.
correct, yeah.
Sort
Right.
of legally,
Yeah,
Legally,
legally.
legal. Okay.
And then to embark on their new launch purchase, yeah.
I see.
I think
okay.
the important thing is that you have to decide whether do you want to keep your first property. Yeah. So if you have decided to keep your first property, there are two ways. One is really to pay for the additional buyer stamp duty, 12%. The other one is that you decouple if both spouses, both partners, you have done your own financial prudence check already. Both of you can afford one property each in your own name. Then I think decoupling is a very straightforward and is a very popular route that a lot of families are taking. In order to own two properties, one for own stay, one for maybe rental investment, and things
Right.
like that. But if you are looking to transit from your current property to a new launch property and is ready to sell and then to buy that one, then the time frame has to be planned very wisely. Because for example, let's say if I'm currently having a property and I want to buy a new launch, firstly, two factors to consider. Number one, if I have the ability to pay the 25% down payment first, plus the stamp duty, and I also have to prepay the ABSD of 12%.
Wow.
And that total amount is quite a hefty amount. And I also need to qualify for a 75% loan. And
Okay.
in order to qualify for that, I have to make sure that my current property is fully paid. Yeah.
Yes.
So if my current property is not fully paid, I can only qualify for a 45% loan. That means your down payment is 55% on top of the 12% ABSD and the stamp duty.
What?
So because of this, okay, so let's come back to this scenario. If you can fulfill all this, you can go ahead and pay ABSD first. You can buy first, but you can claim back the ABSD within 6 months after the property is being completed. Yeah, so you can do that. But if you fall into the second category whereby all your funds are trapped in your current property, then it's wiser to exit first.
Okay.
Maybe you rent for a little while, or you maybe a lot of families are actually bunking in with their parents and things like that.
For before
while
they
you
buy
wait
a
for
new
that.
house,
Yeah. So once your funds are being unlocked from your current place, you can go ahead for the 25%. You don't have to pay ABSD. You can qualify for loan. It's a more cleaner way
Right.
if a lot of your funds are trapped in the current home.
I see. Okay, so it's there are many choices to take lah. Depends on what you want to do with it lah.
Yes.
Okay, so I know a lot of people, if they can afford it, they would actually like to buy a new launch, like a one bidder as an investment unit. Correct? Would you recommend that?
So one beders, they are extremely good for rental. In fact, one beders, they are also one of the easiest to rent out, especially if you buy in areas whereby there are a lot of huge MRT network is very near to zones where there are like business parks, and then or maybe in the CBD area or in the core area. One beders are extremely easy to rent out, easy to find expatriate tenants or local tenants to rent to. Of course, I think the important thing is to take note that because one beders, they technically fall into the category where their sizes are smaller. So sometimes, like after a few years, after 3, 5, 8 years, some clients they look for us and say that, hey, Property Bros, can you help us to sell our one bedder at this place, at that location? And then they will ask us this question and say that, hey, you know, I already own this one bedder for 5 to 8 years. Why is it that I don't earn money? Yeah. Okay, the key reason is because, for example, if your one bedder is 500 square feet, and let's say the project in totality has increased by per square foot of maybe $200. Yeah, so 500 square feet times $200, the gain is actually not a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you multiply that gain, that is probably by about $100,000 increment. But if you calculate your bank interest, your stamp duty that you have paid, maybe they are looking at a break even, or maybe they don't really see a lot of profit gain in a sense. Yeah. So take note, when you buy smaller size properties, you need a higher per square foot increment to see a gain. Yeah.
Wow.
But bigger properties, if they increase by 200-300 per square foot, you will see a gain at a pretty significant rate. Yeah, so I would say one bedders are good for rental. But when it comes to exit, also take note because when you are selling it, usually buyers that love to buy one bedders, they're either single, young couple. Because of the fact that they're single and young couple, and if they are potential buyers, sometimes they also like to go for new ones. And they might not go for resale.
That's right.
So just think of these few choices when it comes to buying a one bedder for investment. Of course, if you can stretch a little bit, I would think that maybe a two bedder will increase the audience when you want to exit, because at least a small family will still want to buy a two bedder next time. Yeah. So just some pros and cons.
Okay. So I know for new launch, right? Probably the only downside is that you have to wait. Yeah. So you have to wait like 3 to 5 years for it to complete, right? So, Candice, what happens, right, if the developer delays the completion date? Then will they give you like a sorry amount like that?
Within the contract, within the sale and purchase agreement, it's actually contractually provided for that they will have to pay you liquidated damages if they pass beyond a certain date set out within the contract.
Okay.
But practically speaking, usually this is, first of all, it's a very safe date, which more often than not, they will be able to complete at least 6 months or a year ahead of time. And the other thing I would flag out is that, for example, if you bought this beforehand, so you see your contract, the date passed already, why I'm not getting compensated? Is because it could also be because of the specific COVID provisions which allowed the developer an extension of time.
Right.
So if that happens, then sorry, no compensation.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, what if in the most extreme case scenario, the developer goes bankrupt? In a very extreme case, I'm sure I don't know, has it happened before in Singapore? Has it? It has? Oh no, then the...
Very rare.
Yeah, very rare. I was thinking we're quite rare. Then what happened?
Builder,
what happened to
usually it's a builder.
Yeah. You either that or the contractor. So generally what happens is that because you are, as the casual buyer, as the third party buyer, how you're protected is because you make progressive payments. So first of all, not all of your money is in that particular unit. So there is still progressive payments that are to be paid, and this can be monetized by a new contractor or the new developer coming in. That is one measure of protection. The second measure of protection is that generally speaking, it's very rare. So usually, almost always, someone will step in and take over and complete the development. It is very, very rare that
The project was shut down lah.
Shut down and goes to
Okay.
waste lah.
Yeah.
Very, very
Right.
rare.
Singapore is very safe.
Yeah, I would think so lah. We have like a lot of laws and measures in place to make sure it doesn't happen lah, right?
Correct.
Okay. So just now you said progressive payment plan. So everybody has this thing or what? What is it?
Yeah, so by default, when you buy a new launch property directly from a developer, at the initial phases when you purchase, the default is always a progressive payment plan. So that means that the first payment is a 5%, it's a cash, so via check lah. So that's cash component, and then next will be a 15%. So 15% is for you to exercise this thing called the SMP. That means you confirm you want to buy it, and then you sign it. The moment you sign it, then we'll go to the first stage. Yeah. So all in all, there are 9 stages. First stage is a 10%, and the first 5% will still be paid under you. Yeah. So take note that you have paid 5% cash. 15% can be paid by CPF. You also have to pay the stamp duty, which also can come from your CPF. And then the final 5% can also be via CPF. And then the progressive payment will kickstart. Basically, it will go through the 9 stages. So every time, let's say a stage that the building is being constructed upwards, certain requirements are fulfilled, then the developer will call for funds. But most, of course, most purchasers, they take a 75% bank loan, so they will call for funds from your bank to release the fund. And that means that your installment will kickstart in a progressive manner. So this is also another benefit that a lot of buyers go for new launches, because their installment starts from small till the final amount when they finally collect their keys. Yeah.
I see. Okay, so it's not like a one-time pay,
That's
a
right.
lot of money lah. Okay, then that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay, so Kenneth, I got one more question for you.
Sure.
So what if you get the keys already, then you go to your house, and then you realize it's not 100% as perfect as you think it would be, because you see the showroom very nice, right? And then there are defects here and there. Then the developer, are they responsible for that?
Okay, generically speaking, okay, there are 2 types of defects, generically speaking. One type of defects are very clear-cut. So for example, like if there's a crack on your marble tile, okay, you can ask the developer to rectify it for you. Hey, this is cracked, or the door is broken, okay, or the aircon is leaking. You can get them to fix it for you. These are fairly clear-cut, okay. What becomes a bit trickier, okay, is what we like to call as design defects, okay. So for example, if the house is designed in such a way that your master bedroom will always leak water somehow, or will always have the rain, come in. So this type of design defects, okay, you might not be able to get it rectified.
Oh no,
Wow.
okay. So it depends on what kind of defect it is lah.
Correct.
Okay, so you have to be careful when you're choosing the unit. Is it something like that?
Definitely.
Right. Okay. Wow. Is there anything else we need to know about buying a new launch?
Yeah, I think there's also been a rise in this kind of third-party services when you collect the keys to your new launch, when it TOPs, is that there are external vendors that provide services to do defect check for your
Oh,
property.
no way, okay.
So you can pay them a sum based on the size of a property. They will come in. We call this the sticker pasting exercise. So they'll paste a lot of stickers on defects. They'll do out the list for you to submit to the developer. So I think that's quite a hassle-free process.
Yeah. Oh, that's great lah. So you actually hire like professional help to help you
That's right.
see, where, how
Yeah.
you can improve your new home that you're gonna stay in.
Yeah, so it takes the stress off you as a new home buyer. You
Yeah.
don't really have to do it yourself. You can save time, let the professionals do it, and then once it's been rectified, you can then start your renovation.
That's true, yeah, because the joys of actually owning a new home is, you don't want to stress about all these small little things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all you need to know about buying a new launch. Thank you so much to Kenneth. Thank you, Melvin. Thank you,
Thanks,
Adrian.
Kimberly.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.